Welcome to the Sonia Buchanan Show, where we inspire one life, one smile at a time. Flex, 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 flex. Hey, you guys. It's your girl, Sonia Buchanan, with the Sonia Buchanan Show. This is our intro into the show, but just got off the treadmill this morning and getting worked up for the show for you. Wanted to put on some good music. And listen, we have a really great discussion for you today. And it is going to be called Listening and Hearing Today. So the next segment is going to be your girl with the Sonia Buchanan Show. You guys, you have a great day. I'm getting back to my music. Greetings, everyone. It is your girl. It is time for the Sonia Buchanan Show, where we inspire one life, one smile at a time. We have a wonderful discussion for you today. But first, let me give you the title. It is called Listening and Hearing Today. I chose this discussion today because right now it is time to listen and hear today. Well, every day is time for listening and hearing today, but it's not going to be what you think. I just wanted to go over a couple of things. The podcast today is not going to be very long and lengthy. I just want to get to the point and just share with you on our show, Listening and Hearing Today. Listen, I was thinking about a couple of things. We have had so many different scenarios in the news media, but we don't want to get political today. We don't want to talk about some of the things that's in the news because the Sonia Buchanan Show is all about inspiring you every day. But I want to talk about something that will impact your life daily, listening and hearing. And when we hear that sentence, listening and hearing, we're always thinking about listening and hearing on the outside. No, this is not what we're going to talk about, because the outside listening and hearing can sometimes lead you the wrong path. And I want you to be on the right path every single time, never missing the mark, okay? And in order to do that, you have to learn how to listen and hear within. That's in your belly, your heart. Listening and hearing within, if you practice that, you'll never miss the mark. You'll never miss when to turn, when to pull back, when to walk away, when to sit and just do absolutely nothing, when to just go out and have fun, go to the mountains, ride your bike, go ice skating, go skating, whatever it is. But practicing listening and hearing within every single day will lead you to a very joyful moment, a joyful time. But I want to talk to you guys, and sometimes people, it's very difficult for them to listen and hear because they have so much noise around them. But there is a way to do that when you have a lot of noise outside, because the noise that's on the inside is the importance, not the noise on the outside. Because if you can quiet yourself, you can actually hear within which direction to take, when to walk away from a discussion, when to not argue your point, even though your point may be right, even though your argument may be right, even though that this person has completely just disrespected you in so many different ways. But practicing listening and hearing within will cause you to miss so many different things that will bring destructions in your life, okay? And I want to talk to you about that. Listening and hearing is something that we do have. We just have ignored it sometimes. Some people are very excellent at it. And I learned a long time ago. I took this I took this job being a help desk, a tier 1. And one of the things that they taught us, this is one of those jobs where they taught me a lot of things being a help desk. That was my first IT position, right? And one of the things that they did not want us to do, because I was used to listening and writing everything down what the person is saying. And my manager came over and saw that I was listening to the person I was receiving information from so I can dispatch IT to their desk. Well, he took my paper away from me and told me, I don't want you to write anything down. I want you to listen and hear the person, and I want you to type as they are talking. You know how difficult that is to listen to someone and type at the same time? But there was an art to it. And one of the things that that job taught me, especially listening from the outside, although we're talking about listening and hearing from the inside, but I wanted to give you that visual of what was happening to me in the IT position. So he took my paper away from me, and I'm on this call, and I'm thinking, okay, I have no idea what this person just said because you just took my paper. So I had to start all over and learn how to listen to the person and type at the same time. Difficult, but I learned the art. And learning the art is when you are tuned in to the person that's listening to you. It was that I had to slow them down as they were giving me instructions as I type, while my brain is operating through my fingers and my brain is operating through my ears all at the same time. So in order for me to type exactly everything that the person was saying, I had to tune in and listen, but slow them down so my fingers would speed up to what they're saying. By doing that, I had to do 4 things at the same time. I had to listen, I had to type, I had to comprehend in my brain, then I had to stop as I'm still typing and repeat everything that the person has already said. By repeating everything that the person had already said, it caused him to slow down, to stop talking, while I had to speed up my typing speed all at the same time. You know what that taught me? Humans are the most remarkable creatures. We're able to do things simultaneously and do it excellent simultaneously. Because although the first time this was happening, it was crazy. It was like noise everywhere. My fingers, my brain, my listening, my tuning in, trying to comprehend exactly what he was saying. And not only this was my first IT position. So now I'm trying to put all the techniques in place that I learned in school, all at the same time. But as I continue to do that, I continue to perfect it. And what happens, it also taught me how to listen outwardly at someone, respecting their problem as a person who was there to resolve their problem. I had to tune in and hear and visualize what he was actually saying. Because sometimes when the person called and they don't understand IT, I had to find out exactly what was he calling his computer, what was he calling his operation system, because a lot of times they don't know the IT terminology. I have to find out what they're calling a disk, what they're calling the mouse, or what they're calling the keys on the system. So all of this is going on at the same time, but I have to zoom in and find out where is this person based on my knowledge. And in order to do that, you have to listen and hear. And at the same time as I'm listening and hearing this person, I'm practicing listening and hearing within, because all of it simultaneously is all working on the behalf of solving a problem. Not only solving a problem, but it's actually perfecting you so that you be wise in this area, in your personal life and also in someone else's life. So I did learn how to do that, and that was the most remarkable skills that I could have ever learned, because it perfected what I was already doing anyway, listening and hearing within my heart. Now, Again, our title today is Listening and Hearing Today. And I wanted to give you that picture and an explanation as to how to zoom in with someone else. That is the same way when you zooming in with someone else on the outside, knowing that the information that you're hearing and listening is not profitable for you. Because what you're doing, listening and hearing on the outside, and you're listening and hearing on the inside, and when then there's a retraction, the lack of peace that is happening within, know that what you're listening to surrounding you is disturbing the peace that is in you. That is when you walk away from the noise from the outside. You're listening and hearing things that is disturbing the balance that is within you. That is how you know when to turn, when to walk away, when to leave a job, when to argue your point, when to walk away from an argument situation, when to be still as you just kind of go out the side door. Someone says, oh, there's a fight going on. And you know, within, you feel this like pull and this disturbance in your peace, and you know you're a balanced person when you walked into the place. And all of a sudden, you get this distraction, this like something is wrong. That's when you go out to the side door. That's when you leave the room because you don't know what is going on. That is an alert listening and hearing to know there is something is about to happen. There is something that is disturbing my peace. I'm in a place, I was at peace at first. Now I'm in this place. Now my peace within is disturbed. Let's leave. Let's find out. That's when you know you're listening and hearing within, okay? And that's an example of when you're hearing something from the outside and listening from something from the outside and is not balancing what's on the inside. That's when you need to take a left or a right or keep walking or just go away and maybe ask questions. Don't ask too many questions if your peace start to just dwindle. Leave. But I want to talk to you, switching it over about listening and hearing within. Now, there is I heard someone say something about, my relationship, they don't listen and hearing me or anything. That is because they're not interested. If they hear you and they're not listening to you, and then 30 minutes later, they completely forgot about what you just said, they're not interested in what you're saying. But I don't want to talk about that. I just wanted to just give you that little nugget about when someone, didn't you hear what I said? Didn't you listen to what I said? They heard you, but they were not listening. As I gave you an example of when I was doing IT, I had to hear and listen because I was interested in what the person was explaining to me, their problem with their system. I had to listen. I had to care. I had to hear. But when someone does that and 30 minutes later they completely forgot about what you just said, they're not interested in what you're saying. They have no interest. They focus on something else, or they got other plans, and the plans definitely is not listening and hearing you. But I want you to practice and listen and hear you, and you be the number one person that you do listen and hear. Listening and hearing, because I don't know anybody who don't listen to themselves. That means you're not interested in yourself. If you're not listening and hearing what's coming from your heart, you're not interested in self. And really, this is what this discussion is about today. Listening and hearing within yourself and be interested in who you are. Never allow who you are to dwindle, to be a lack of interest. Every morning you wake up, you should be interested in who you are. No matter how chaotic the situation is, be interested in who you are every single day. And I really want you to just tune in about listening and hearing your inner self, your inner peace, because that day could be the most blessed day. That day could be the most prosperous day. That day could be the most productive day. By listening within every single day, every morning when you wake up, lie in your bed for about 5 minutes to tune in to hear what your inner self is saying for your day. you start that day off, and it's not the most easiest thing to do every single day, but if you practice it, it becomes a natural occurrence that you're doing it without even knowing it. But once I learned that when someone is not listening and hearing me, and then they come back and give a rebuttal, like repeating what I have said, and they're repeating based on what they're thinking. They're not listening and hearing my thing. And most often, they're not listening and hearing what you're saying either. and they repeat something completely, totally different than what you're saying. But within you already know you are. And I'm just assuming, based on this discussion today, that you are interested in you. You are interested in your day, your daily activities. You are interested in what you're going to do this weekend. Because otherwise, we wouldn't plan vacations. We wouldn't plan what we're going to eat, how we're going to eat today. Because every morning, I don't know if you're like me, I'm working on this weight loss thing, and I have to be conscious about what I eat. I have to be conscious about what I buy at the store, because if it's in this house, I'm going to eat it, but I want you to practice listening to this show today. Practice listening and hearing yourself. It would keep you from so many dangers. I can't tell you how many times that I woke up in the morning wanting to go to the beach, but it was just something pulling me to say, do not go today, go next week. And when I discover why later, it just strengthened my interest in wanting to make sure that I listen and hear what my inner self is saying, because it caused so many avoidance of danger, weather danger. I remember wanting to go to the beach one weekend, and it poured the entire time in South Carolina. And I'm thinking, I would have had a terrible trip. I wouldn't have been able to enjoy the ocean, diving into the deep waters, But listening and hearing is so important. It's so passionately important for you starting today. But listen, you guys, this is the end of our show, and I wanted to just share that little discussion with you. And as we come here every single week and give you our show and our passion, because it's about one smile, one life, and every time. That's what we do to inspire you every single week. Just to give you a reminder, not to trying to teach you how to do anything. This is not what this show is about, but this show is really about just expressing the passion that we have to do what we do every week. But listen, you guys, it's the end of our show, and I want to thank you for joining us. I want to thank you for taking the time to listen to our show today. And listen, I want you to just tell me what you think about today's discussion and how listening and hearing, and are you interested in yourself, or have you ever had an occurrence where you're listening to someone and your inward start to be kind of frustrated and vexed and not at peace? Talk to me about that. I would like to have a discussion with you about that. But listen, I want you to go to our website and check out our e-store. We have so many t-shirts I think it's called the Tees Shop. And we have many different t-shirts. I believe we have over 400 t-shirts and designs for you this summer. And remember that buying those t-shirts, it does help Comfort and Promises broadcast out in the community. The funds and the income that comes from that, it goes to support people who are in need. And right now we are seeing so many different people are dealing with so many issues, with the economy and the rent and the food, the gas prices are going up. Everything is happening, and I want to be a contribution to help as much as I can. Listen, you guys, I want you to be blessed, and thank you for watching. This is your girl, Sonya Buchanan, with the Sonya Buchanan Show, where we inspire one life, one smile at a time. I want you to go this week and listen and hear within as you listen and hear around you. Have a great week, you guys. Until next week, this is your girl. Bye.
Oh my god, I gotta tell you, I was having a moment and I decided to surf the net. And that's when I came across this website called Comforting Promises, which is a great website, by the way. And get this. On the website was a featured book called The Journey by Sonia Buchanan that was recently published. So I immediately downloaded the ebook on Kindle because it talked about, having faith for your life purpose. And let me tell you, the book is super great. I was so motivated to get back into the game, pursuing my goals. And you gotta get the book because it's worth the read.
Thank you for joining our podcast today. The podcast was produced and edited by Sonia Buchanan. For more information about the host, you can go to soniabuchanan.com. For information about Comforting Promises broadcast community, you can go to comfortingpromises.com. Thank you for listening to our broadcast, The Sonia Buchanan Show, where we focus on one life, one smile at a time. Until next time, bye you guys.